That's how I feel right now. Hello, little peoples. I am Michelle. This is my wheelchair Betty, and you're watching Rebelwheels NYC. We interrupt this video to say that the House recently passed the AHCA here in America, aka the American Health Care Act, aka Trump Care, aka a fucking nightmare. Trump don't care. For the majority of Americans, it still has to pass the Senate. So if you are living in the U.S. area, make sure you contact your Senate. And if you're like, I don't know who my Senate is, and there's a link in the description that will help you figure that out. There's also a way that maybe if you can't or you're not comfortable advocating via the phone, there's this thing called ResistBot, and you can go boop, 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 send a text on your phone, and that will and then they will send that as a fax to your politicians, and you let them know how you feel, and then tell them, do not say yes to the AHCA if you have any fucking level of ethics and want to remain in power. Or whatever. I mean, put that in your own words. But say vote no for the AHCA. So we now return to regularly scheduled video. Why is it that some departments of accessibility in these large, big-ass corporations don't seem to know about accessibility? So basically, if you follow the show, you know I've been trying to get a new wheelchair. And one thing I've learned in this long-ass journey of trying to get my wheelchair is that not all wheelchairs will fit on the city buses. Because the wheelchair, if wheelchairs are too long or too wide, they're just not going to fit. So then at one point, I contacted the MTA. I'm like, hey, MTA, what exactly is the maximum width and length that a wheelchair can be so that I know that my new chair will fit on the bus? Because I take the bus. I like the bus. It's not on the website, and they did not know. They did not have that information on hand. But basically, the MTA kept telling me, just make sure that your wheelchair is transit approved, and then you will be fine. That's all you need to know, right? So I go to the wheelchair vendor. I'm like, hey, make sure my wheelchair is transit approved. And they're like, what? What's transit approved? This is what are you talking about? So I Google it. Googly. And it turns out, like, transit approved, or it's like WC19 compliant, basically means, and you can't see it because it's not in front of me. Basically, on motorized wheelchairs, some motorized wheelchairs, there's these metal loops that are attached to the chair. So when you go on the bus driver will put like the constraints, I guess they're called, or whatever, I don't know, the straps into the loops, and that kind of secures your wheelchair onto the bus, and theoretically you are safe. And yes, the metal loops are good for keeping you safe, but you can be transit approved, have a transit approved wheelchair, and still have the wheelchair be too wide and too long, in which case you can't even get on the bus to get to the point where they're going to strap you in. Which makes the metal loops, or the transit approved factor, a bit moot if you can't get on the goddamn bus. But they don't know that. They're like, that's all we got for you, and I'm like, and the thing is, this is the accessibility department. This is a department that, it's like, it's kind of like if your accounting department didn't know math. Or you know what I mean? It's like, why? First of all, they wouldn't get hired. Like the accounting department has to know math in order to function, in order to be accounting things. So why doesn't accessibility departments know accessibility? I don't understand that. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section because that's where they belong. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye.